second part of the video. Now, that is on Peter Okoye's side. I think he underrated the work of what Jude Okoye. And I saw one interview where they interviewed them back then. He actually acknowledged the fact that there is Jude Okoye, who is actually the PSquare that people don't see. And he attributed the work that he does indoors, the video editing, to make sure that everything, make sure that they get the promotion, the ambassadorial deals, the collaborations, all those stuffs. So he was actually doing a lot of work backstage or behind the scenes that people actually, even he himself, Peter, is underrated. Now let me leave that aside. Let me come to why I think that Paul Okoye and Jude Okoye also underrated the influence of Peter Okoye to the success of PSquare. When you look at PSquare, when they started, according to what I've 2005, I've part of the OG that actually saw that PSquare. That PSquare, I saw it. Now that time, you can see that some of the that in their early time, Peter was also part of those hours, like the singing. He was part of the singing. His verses was also part. Okay, but it got to some point that Peter was only dancing, and then Paul was singing. Now, I felt Peter felt sidelined and was, back then nobody actually, dancing doesn't actually get you fame like singing. So I felt Peter was feeling like, no, they want me to dance so that Peter will be the main man. But unfortunately, what happened? People or ambassadors who tried brands could not afford the three of them. They started what they want to, because they are three, their fee is always high. So they actually picked Paul, who was a dancer. He became the brand of PSquare because his dance moves were actually very, very scintillating. Look at this, Roll It and that Michael Jackson. So you can see he became the brand of PSquare. So ambassadors started picking him. They started picking him, endorsing him as his main endorser. And mind you, they were not endorsing PSquare as their ambassadors, but he was taking most of the endorsement, the brand ambassadorial deals. So I think that got into Paul and his brother. They feel like, nah, how can we all be doing this work? And he's actually enjoying with the ambassadorial deals. You get a point. And then I made that conclusion when they shared those houses in his narration. When they shared the houses, they gave him the American house and asked him to pay 30 million naira to Paul to balance everything. Then later on, when they saw that the value increased, and then they started what? They want to sell the house. So I feel like they saw that, even when Peter was dancing, he became the brand of the team and he was getting more ambassadorial deals. They feel like, no, he cannot be getting more than us. And that's when this greed and everything started. So for me, that's all I deduce from the narration of what Peter. But what didn't go well with Peter? Do you know why?